So we'll see. We are underway. So, oh my. Oh, I didn't catch all that message, but it didn't look good for our runners.
Yeah, Uncle was referencing some sort of reward for you, which, Uncle? Man, blood over money. What's wrong with you? All right, so we're going to see what we end up having here. Both these runners, of course, very accomplished. I'm sure they'll have no problems getting through here. Hey, and Sora, thank you for the roots there. And just starting off, we are going to have the Cane of Samaria.
You called it. It was in your range of expected items there for cane or fire rod. So
well, I mean, let's face it, that was pretty cheap of me. So I won't take the win there. But cane is interesting. I mean, it is progression, but it's not really immediate progression. We don't need it. It does pretty weak damage, and it's still limited. So it's one of the quote-unquote worst weapons that you can get.
I like cane because you can get repeated damage out of it early, and you can also its rate of magic usage is really, really good. And so you can make a lot of mistakes with it. Not that I expect these runners to make mistakes with it, but being able to use the cane as aggressively as we just saw zer0rush do, where he was able to use 2 full blocks on that blue guard just to save a few frames in that room, whereas ninjembro used a single block and then the guard's alert function to chase him to make the guard suicide on the block. It's interesting to see the disparate strats that runners will pursue with it. I think ninjembro is maybe being a little too conservative right now, grabbing that small decanter. I'm wondering why he's so concerned about magic with so many free shots on the cane.
Well, I mean, part of that might just be hoping. We do see Zero being much more aggressive using his magic there. It's just different play styles, knowing where everything is going to be. And when you have a limited resource, I can obviously see wanting to pick that up.
Yeah, I see folks mentioning farming bomb drops, but there's more than enough magic in that meter and some small decanters in the back of Escape. I'm gonna razz ninjembro for this one. I'm gonna give him a hard time.
Oh, Zelda's chest was holding the flute. That's
a good find.
Yeah, that's gonna make traversing the overworld so much easier. Just another thing that we can pick up while we're going through here in the overworld. And if any of these runners were thinking about skipping Kakariko, not so much now.
Yeah, I would expect both these runners to play somewhat solidly, just in the sense of I wouldn't expect any wild gambles or any expectation that someone's way ahead or someone's way behind. The flute giving that extra movement, I think is going to be really, really good just for overall efficiency, but it will give the runners fewer input breaks, so it's going to be fast and furious for them for a little while. But I think if we see anyone gambling, that we'll probably see ninjembro gamble. I know that he feels that he's slightly disadvantaged in this matchup, and zer0rush got that 1 bomb drop from the green guard prize pack, while ninjembro got the red rupee, but the next drop he gets will be the 1 bomb drop that he's looking for, but he does not know that. So if nothing else is grouped in that prize pack with the green guards, we may see ninjembro miss out on this bomb.
Yeah, that's really interesting. So Zero is going to have a slight advantage. I think it doesn't necessarily matter for much, except for time, if nothing ends up being there. But if we have, for example, our first lift upgrade right at the moment, and ninjembro doesn't get a bomb between here and there, that would be significant at the point.
Yeah, but similarly, what we see right now, ninjembro is having to farm all these ropes, and zer0rush just walked right on through. And I think we're going to see Ninjembro go for top right rats here in the next room. Whereas zer0rush, again, he's just walking right on by everything. So not only does he have the bomb, he knows he doesn't have to farm.
I think knowing that you don't have to farm is the most important thing. And despite, I don't think we've gotten a single rupee drop, and not a single rupee from any treasure chest, but man, we're rich already at 121 rupees.
I was surprised to see Ninjembro not go for top right rats in that first sewer room with water.
Yeah, that's a pretty lucrative spot there.
Yeah, it's very high yield, and unfortunately he's going to miss out on the bomb drops. If there were any in the rat prize pool, they were further back than he was able to access.
Well, I mean, lucky thing for Ninjembro, there wasn't any necessarily progression there. We got our first shield, of course, but the only thing that's going to hurt him is the nagging feeling in the back of his mind that he probably missed something, and the pending sense of disappointment he will eventually have once he gets there.
Yeah, it's just you have to keep that in mind. You really have to be mindful of the fact that you've left that location behind, and so that's just going to weigh on him, and he will have to take 30 seconds or so through a save and quit and go back and do that at some point. And hopefully he doesn't have to go back through the front of the escape. We know there's going to be progression that isn't there, so it's very, very unlikely that we see him actually do that, but it's got to be on his mind.
Absolutely. So it looks like both runners are actually going to give us a peek into the lumberjack ledge immediately. Ninjembro giving us a hint at the hoarder crab with some small magic pots and just 10 arrows that are on the lumberjack ledge. So no aghanim required as of yet.
Yeah, so far we're safe. And both runners farming the little cuke man there, going to set up that tier 1 tree pole. See if that pays out. I know both runners are going to be looking for bombs there.
Yep. Zero finds the cane of Burna, the best cane. I don't care what anyone else says here. And both runners pick it up. Yes, you're both my favorite. So it is worth noting, we did see a map check. Eastern Palace and Desert Palace are both crystals, and then Tower of Hera is a pendant, a blue pendant. I think it was the 6 and 7 crystals. I don't think we got a special crystal yet, but we still have quite a bit of the game to go, and we have no idea what could possibly be. Zero's immediately activating the flute, so hashtag kneel or stand at attention, whatever you do for this.
However you like to pay tribute. There's increased mobility on zer0rush's side with decreased frames. And Ninjembro has gone and purchased his 10 bombs, and we're going to see him activate his flute after buying the bombs. It's kind of 6 of one, half a dozen of the other here with the routing. But both runners are going to be in good shape to clear out Kakariko at this point.
Yep, so we're going to see here our first treasure chest check is going to be in the chicken hut, and it is just 5 arrows. Shouldn't wind up quite like that when I don't know what we're going to see.
And Ninjembro is going to give us our first peek into Blind's hut. So we'll see what the 5 locations here yield. So far, pretty meh, but that will give him enough money for the bottle vendor.
Man, so much meh. Heart, money, meh. And more money. Man, this is okay. I can't get too disappointed. We still have a lot of Kakariko to go.
I think the well is going to be loaded.
Do you think so? You think we're not going to be disappointed so much?
I'm excited. I have high hopes for this well. Ninjembro's jumping. He's all in. And we are going to see 5 more locations.
Okay, a B-Torp. That unlocks Sick Kid while we're here. So, nice.
Yeah. Clean routing.
I tell you what, that's kind of what I think about.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That was great. That was like a 7 out of 10 well. You got a B, and you got some bombs.
Wah, 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 wah. Yeah, that was underwhelming. The single rupee, I think, was
I tried.
insult to injury there.
I tried. It didn't work, but you know, we'll see what Sick Kid's got. See if Kakariko, turns out any. Oh, there we go.
Okay,
there we go. That's the mirror.
Delayed hype from the well. Okay, I'll give you that one.
Yeah, much like the Cane of Samaria, not all that useful now, but it's an exciting find.
Okay, so we really have the flute and the mirror and then a couple canes. You know what? And let's see, there's a heart container that is up on the library ledge, so not going to take a look. Not really going to come back for that. zer0rush is going to give our first taste. Oh, there's our lift upgrade.
Yeah, we'll see if Ninjembro goes right on in. Yep, he's going to check too, so no one's getting a few seconds of advantage here. Ninjembro with a chance at the lead. Throwing it away. No, that really doesn't tend to make that much of a difference, but you know,
I think at this
making
point
the
it's
right
a preference thing.
Yeah, it's the right value play, and both runners are going to go back and get that lift upgrade, get that power glove. That will let Ninjembro go back immediately. So I expect Ninjembro will save and quit to Sanctuary and just go do that back of escape for peace of mind.
Yeah, I wouldn't doubt that for a minute. Zero is going to do kind of the traditional south high roll routing. Using the mirror glitch, which is something you don't always get to do when you're doing this first check, but nice to have at the moment. So there's this is setting up very nicely for some possible trolling to be had. Right now, I'm hoping for the Titan's mitts and then a lamp so that we are forced to do a cane bombs landbow because no one else has had to do it and I want other people to feel the pain.
Yeah, I think you are the only one who got blessed by such nonsense. Oh, and an 8 bomb drop there from the Smoldorm prize pack. That's a nice hit there for zer0rush, and I think Ninjembro will be getting the same drop, yeah.
Yeah, that looks good. Let's see. Heart bow, okay. So we're likely on our way over to Eastern here before too long. We can't be trolled too much more.
Yeah, that bow is the one thing the runners have that points them in any sort of direction. So that'll be good. And yeah, it looks like zer0rush has given us a nice long look at that map. So we had the 5-6 over in Desert and the red pendant up at Hera. Eastern just Crystal 7, but I mean, it's a Crystal, it's beatable right now. They have 4 hearts, they have the lift upgrade to get in there quickly, and Ninjembro is going to take full advantage of that.
Absolutely. So I think Ninjembro actually has a little bit better routing here. He's going to go right over up into Eastern and then kind of duck over and get Sahasrara afterwards. Meanwhile, Zero is starting with Saha and then going over to Eastern. I know this is kind of the more immediate dense area, but Zero is opting to go ahead and check that. And we have a bottle of mushroom and a heart piece.
So that's going to set Ninjembro up really nicely because he's going to save and quit find nothing in Back of Escape, he's going to already be on a save and quit sequence. He'll be able to turn in the mushroom and hard reset if it's nothing. zer0rush will have to kind of find a window for a save and quit because he's not really set up for wanting one anytime soon. But that'll be really nice so that ninjembro will later be able to preserve fake powder for the magic bat.
And absolutely. We're set up very nicely for magic bat since we already have access with the cane just to map in this particular treasure chest here. I didn't catch what was in the first treasure chest when Zero's going to give us a peek here. Yes, and chat pointing out if there is an item in the any time past the dark rooms. Now it depends on where that big key was. I don't know if we've already got it or not, but if there's an item that's required that is past the dark rooms in any capacity, then it would be a sequence break. Both these runners completely capable of bypassing the dark rooms, but it is worth noting that logically, Titan's mitts.
So your Lanmo dream lives on.
Kinda. I mean, you can use the bow, which makes it less thrilling, but bonus points for either runner if they use Burna strats, because I would love them forever.
Oh, and ninjembro doesn't yet have that red potion, and taking a darkroom death. We'll see if he continues or if he dips out. Yeah, he's an open. He says, I got my Titan's mitts. So this could be a big point of divergence.
If there's anything past in that last dark room that an ninjembro died at, this could be significant for Zero. If not, I mean, keep in mind, Zero also has an extra heart that ninjembro is only just now going to get from this particular location. And yeah, ninjembro, you got a heart and a red container of goo right at the same time. That's twisting the knife a little bit there.
Yeah, no fury slashes, so good on him. No sword yet, but I was expecting to see some air pumps.
Oh, and he's going right for it. He's going to check to see what exactly he's reading this seed and saying, nah, checkerboard cave's too attractive right now. Something's going on.
Yeah, he can checkerboard, he can super bunny in the mire shed, and he can go right into desert. This is really, really early for all these plays to be opened up, but I like this call from ninjembro.
Yeah, keep in mind that, you know, in desert, there's a high probability that desert is also going to be boots locked. Just big 20 on that treasure chest that's past it. So Zero's going to continue on. Looks like he's going to go ahead and defeat Armos Knights, which is fine. I mean, he's capable of doing it. ninjembro is going to find out almost immediately if this is going to be a boots locked desert. Oh.
Well, if Armos Knights has the boots, I always like to see something on the torch and then find the boots in desert, because like it really forces my emotions to swing very severely in a way that Randomizer is really good at. Kind of like finding the Mire medallion in the Mire shed.
You're like, what the? Oh, it's here. Okay.
I've got 2 medallions and it had to be ether. Oh, okay, never mind. I'm off tilt again.
ninjembro's got to be a little bit careful here. He does know what one item is going to be in terms of that sword, but doesn't know what the second item. I believe this has to be the big key, though.
Yeah, this chest in the cannonball gauntlet had to be big key. And he's going to go check the big chest. I don't like this call. I think he's better off doing the back of desert to Lanmo, taking the 50-50 that the item's there, and then only checking the big chest if it turns out that he doesn't get the other dungeon item.
Under normal circumstances, I would agree with you, but we don't have a fire source to get to Lanmo itself.
Jesus, never mind. Yeah, never mind. Sorry. Rip me. I was thinking about that lamp again, so yeah. I always get debated by the back of desert without a fire source. So my apologies to Ninjembro and everyone else. So thank you for the correction, Patasia. And Quake Medallion on Armos Knights. Nice quick kill from zer0rush, by the way.
Very nice quick kill. Quake isn't going to do us any good, at least for now, but it might be required. Just another piece of heart there in Checkerboard Cave. So Ninjembro is going to go over here, check what Agina has to offer for us, and lamp, please, lamp. Well, we have both of our items, so nothing's going to be locked on Lambo. So
yeah, we know Landmo doesn't have an item. We haven't seen what was in the Meyer shit. Ooh, silvers. That's going to be nice.
That's actually going to make Ninjembro's it's not going to be quite as quick as zer0rush doing it all in one cycle, but being able to kill those Armos Knights with silvers as opposed to regular, that'll save, a good 10, 15 seconds there.
Yeah, for Ninjembro's peace of mind, I hope that the boots are behind the lamp is behind the boots in the logic, because otherwise it might just drive you crazy finding the lamp and finding the boots and worrying that you left the lamp out somewhere. Or if you find the lamp and worry that the boots were like back on Armos Knights.
Yeah, I can see that.
And zer0rush is doing that mirror on the door transition for the Super Bunny, checking out the Meyer shed.
Yeah, we don't get to see Super Bunny too terribly frequently used anymore. It's just not that common of a glitch that we need to see, but useful in some circumstances. Zero says, nah, I don't need 15 more roops.
Yeah, and here it also could get the the so-named Super Bunny Cave in Dark Death Mountain for the runners. So we may see another instance of Super Bunny, another way of setting that state by falling down a hole.
Ninjembro turned in the mushroom, and he's not doing a hard reset. I was a little surprised. I'd hard reset here just so you can save that mushroom for fake powder.
Yeah, this is interesting, although we didn't see the Super Bunny out of Ninjembro, but he was willing to sequence break the lamp, so I'm not certain. Wow, 4 crabs. What bad luck. Don't get crabbed too hard here. Oh, okay,
These
he made it
crabs
through
are
the
just
ice rod.
being rude. Oh my gosh, and nothing here. Is our progression going to end up being up on Spectacle Rock at this point? Because I can't...
I mean, we can do a lot more than just Spectacle Rock.
We can. I mean, Spectacle Rock and Tower of Hera, but we don't have anything to kill Moldorm, at least at this point in time.
Yeah, we can... I think Death Mountain is looking like the play, and Ninjembro is going to rescue the old man and using the boomerang to navigate, and we're going to see zer0rush go over and get his checkerboard cave. We know that it's nothing, but he's got to check it off the map.
Yeah, it's something you absolutely don't want to leave off. Leaving an item behind is just horrible. And Ninjembro gets the save point. Don't get bodied by a cabbage immediately. That was close for Ninjembro.
Yeah, I think that at this point we're getting closer and closer to a visit to Zora.
It is in logic, absolutely. We have the roots for it. I suppose it wouldn't be that horrible. Fake flippering over there isn't really going to yield you anything unless you do the water walk glitch and kind of store it ahead of time. That might be something. And there's the Moon Pearl.
Ooh, that's what Ninjembro's been looking for, and it looks like zer0rush won't be too far behind. We're going to see him turn in his mushroom, and I don't think he's set up to reset it, so I think that he's just committed to turning this in, if I was watching correctly.
Yeah, I think you're right. But he did the reset.
Okay. When was the last save and quit? But he is saving that mushroom, whereas Ninjembro does not have it. and no fire source. So Ninjembro is big key or bust in this next chest.
Well, there's only so much you can do because the weapons that he have, neither Kane's actually deal damage to Landmolus himself. I really think our progression is that Moon Pearl, and that's it.
And to be fair, that puts you very, very easily over into Village of Outcasts and Thieves Town and lets you clear everything in that part of the Dark World over through Hype Cave. And so it opens the front half of Skull, the Mirror Ledge at the Graveyard. That Moon Pearl opens a ton of locations.
Absolutely it does. So we're going to see Ninjembro go ahead and looks like he's going to get these last 2 treasure chests, hoping for that's an item.
Yeah. I like this call from Ninjembro just because he's already paid the price of getting up Death Mountain, and Hera is a fairly quick check. So I like the decision to go and get these 2 chests.
And it's a key.
Now he's going to be out.
Absolutely. So this is setting up to be kind of an interesting situation that we don't see too much in Randomizer. We are getting our Dark World access with the Mitts and the Moon Pearl, which is all well and good. We're going to have access to the western portion of the Dark World. However, that eastern portion, Catfish and Palace of Darkness, is still going to be locked behind either the Flippers or the Hammer. So if both Flippers and Hammer is actually locked behind in that area, we may see a required Aghanim play just to get access to that eastern portion of Dark World. We'll stay tuned for that one.
Yeah, and we have an opportunity to maybe see the Skullwoods Waterwalk set up if boots are in front of that, if that becomes a reality. Which always warms my heart.
See, it warms your heart. It makes me cackle maniacally.
That's all I ever do.
All right, so we did get a look. It does look like Skullwoods, and I don't know what our other 5/6 crystal is. Is it desert?
Yeah. That was there's a 5/6 at desert.
Okay. Most worth noting that Turtle Rock is going to be a green pendant, which is horrible.
Oh, not like this, Ninjembro. That Gibdo was way too up in his business. He does have 27 arrows and silver arrows, so I was a little surprised that there wasn't a menu to dispatch those Gibdos. They will die to a single silver arrow.
Yes, and he got the key, got bodied, and then he's like, oh, I'm just going to use the key this other way.
Yeah, which, I mean, that's why you go that way. He wants to not see a small key here. Oh, got punished.
A little bit there.
Yeah, I mean,
he's setting up a bomb jump.
Costs a few seconds. Oh.
Oh, did that berry, like, knock him in just before?
No, he got the bomb jump. He was 1 pixel low.
Okay, yeah, that
Bush
bomb
Fairy,
jump
though.
is...
Bush Fairy, though, coming in clutch. He's just going to take the vanilla route and getting the 8 bomb drop.
Looks like zer0rush. I was also a little bit punished for not checking this chest earlier.
Yeah, both runners taking the conventional Skullwoods route. If that chest there to the right of the big chest is not a small key, then it is faster to go the way both the runners did.
So did Ninjembro just think he had the big key and didn't quite get there?
I was a little confused as to why Ninjembro was investigating the big chest. I didn't have a good answer for what he was pursuing. It was clear he was trying to do a bomb jump.
And then the big key is in this chest over here. So GG.
Yeah, and he's gonna go get that full magic decanter. That's a nice heads-up play by ninjembro, just knowing that there's the magic decanter waiting through the wall here, and then he's gonna be able to mirror out and save a little bit of time. That's a nice refill. And zer0rush is set up. The problem is there's no great visual cue for this bomb jump. I just kind of feel it out every time. But zer0rush gets it cleanly on the first try. And with no fire rod, that's all there is for Skullwood, so that's going to be empty. See if he checks Bumper Cave and maybe follows over to Graveyard Ledge, or if he's into Village of Outcasts.
I mean, both are valid checks. There's no great time to go check Bumper Ledge and Graveyard Ledge at that point in time, but
yeah,
we'll see.
I mean, ooh, Ice Rod.
Oh, baby. I mean, with Turtle Rock being that green pendant, if Sahasrara has any of our progression, keep locked.
Yeah. I feel like casting Randomizer is very flighty in terms of lines of thought, because I was going to talk about something different, but then there was an Ice Rod on zer0rush's screen, and then that's where my brain was. But what I was going to say was the way you get punished here is if you find boots and can do Bonk Rocks and King's Tomb in with this, or can also route it in with like getting over to Catfish and Zora's Domain, then you can get this in a little less out of the way sort of sequencing. But the flute and the mirror really help mitigate some of that potential time loss. Those are really powerful movement items.
Right, so ninjembro opted against going over into the graveyard area. zer0rush didn't necessarily find anything. So ninjembro is now in the Village of Outcasts, not finding a whole lot of value right now. It is worth noting that Thieves Town is not completely clearable. We still need the hammer for it to be completely clearable, theoretically. So there's some interesting key logic that ends up happening. And we have our first mail upgrade almost simultaneously here.
Yeah, five heart green mail Dark World. Both runners are going to be happy to see that blue mail. Both runners are fully capable of doing it with green mail, but I guarantee they're just like, okay, that's blue mail. That's not a bad find at this point. Whereas if they had 13 hearts, especially zer0rush might just be like, I really don't want that blue mail. That just makes it easier on ninjembro, who admittedly has a little less NMG experience.
Yeah, it is worth noting that the randomizer does not take how many hearts or how many mail upgrades you have into account. If you can possibly deal damage to a boss, it presumes that you can kill a boss. So, yeah, you may have to do a 5-heart green mail Thieves Town with no weapons, and that might just be something you have to do at some point.
Yeah, I've bought my fair share of potions because the game asked me to do 5-heart green mail hammer blind, and I've just been like, I really want a red potion or two for this one.
And you know what? You're completely justified in that regard, I feel.
But Thieves Town, so far, pretty unexciting. We know we're going to get that big key in the first 4. But both runners kind of, following one another. We did see zer0rush get a little bit of North Dark World done, whereas ninjembro decided to go right to Village of Outcasts. So maybe works out favorably for ninjembro if the boots turn out here in Thieves Town, but mostly it's going to be a wash.
Worth noting as well, we haven't seen the small key yet, and the logic in Thieves Town also seems to indicate that you use your keys in the dumbest way possible. So it's possible that if there is a key if the key is locked behind in the big treasure chest, the logic would indicate that the entire dungeon to complete it is hammer locked.
Ninjembro with those grasshoppers, just they're being jerks. But yeah, I really like, and that's not a safe spot to stand for ninjembro, so he got lucky to not get hit there. There's a small % chance, and oh, that sword, that's a good one.
And they're like, oh, thank God, a real weapon.
But yeah, there's a small percent chance even standing in that doorway that those guys will hit you. And I'm not exactly sure why it works. I don't know that anyone 100% understands that one. I'm sure the chat will correct me, but getting Fighter Sword there, really a good break. That's part of the key to unlocking all of the rest of Skullwoods. So Ninjembro does not have the mushrooms, so he cannot fake powder these anti-fairies. Whereas zer0rush, if he decides to, he'll be able to. And I see a comment in the chat that small key can't be in the big chest, but it absolutely can. As of, I think, V28, they changed that. The small key can lock itself away in Thieves Town. It can't be on blind, but it can be in the big chest, and is very often. In fact, that's one of the advantages of going into Thieves Town without the hammer at this point. You're slightly more likely to be able to complete. Unfortunately, Ninjembro took a death in the basement, and is also going to nope out here.
Yeah, that's going to be unfortunate. That he's going to be 2 crystals behind that he's going to have to come back and get. I mean, he's going to do some of this other overworld and come back when it's a little bit healthier. We are definitely quite sickly at this point. He's also might be making a gamble. He did pick up that key that we might be required to come back into Thieves Town anyway.
Yeah, and so because that small, we're gonna see what zer0rush finds. I don't have a count on their items. I don't know if blind drops an item, if that is the be all end all for the 4 item. Oh gosh.
Oh no, that is horrible for Ninjembro.
Them's some bad beats there, Ninjembro. You gotta go back and get that hook shot, buddy. Pendant Thieves.
Yeah, don't skip Pendant Thieves. That's huge. In fact, that's so huge. I'm gonna say that is huge. So huge.
Yeah, if you're listening to the commentary and feeling like Ninjembro right now, probably a little triggered. But man, that is a big find for zer0rush, that hook shot. That is going to get him East Death Mountain as well as Dark Death Mountain fully, all 6 items.
Yeah, I mean, so, okay, there's 8 items up on regular Death Mountain, on East Death Mountain, and then Dark Death Mountain is 6 items. So we're talking a total of 14 items that are now logically accessible from zer0rush that Ninjembro has to go back and beat blind for.
Yeah, so if you're Ninjembro, you hope that it's nothing, because I mean, I know Ninjembro feels disadvantaged in this race, and so he's going to make some of these sorts of gambles potentially. But I think you want things to be as behind that hook shot as possible, so that you can go back and find it. And ooh, a Master Sword. So we've seen 3 sword upgrades at this point.
Yeah, I mean, that's nice at this point in time. I think Ninjembro's best hope is that if this particular sequence with the purple chest ends up paying off in some capacity, and then there's just nothing up on Death Mountain at all in any way, shape, or form.
Yeah, if this sequence pays off, this is something that, because zer0rush has Death Mountain access, we could see him put this off until almost last, although with Mirror and Flute, and also in zer0rush's case, Hookshot, this is something that isn't going to be as costly as if it were just sort of plain old save and quit smiths. But yeah, this is going to be one of those things that could be a big difference if zer0rush doesn't go do these items. And so Ninjembro also going to be able to do his Bombos tablet check because of that sword upgrade. So this is one of the more out of the way things, but it looks like zer0rush is headed right for it.
All right, so our check on Bombos is bombs. I mean, really?
Are you surprised?
I wish I was more surprised. I really do.
Like, what did you expect? Because I don't think there's anything else you can expect from Bombos. And
All right, so they're both
ninjembro.
making their way over to Hype Cave. Chat, I mean, what are we going to see in Hype Cave? Are we actually going to see something hype, or is it going to be completely dud? Or is all the value going to be up on Death Mountain? Get your guesses in chat. Let's have some fun with this.
I want it to be the hammer. I want it to push ninjembro back to Thieves Town.
I actually don't want it to be the hammer. I'm still holding out hope for Aga at this point in time.
Another red bottle. That's 3 bottles already, and that is it. So that was
2 of 10. Like, yeah, 2 of 10. That is just disgusting.
Yeah, just with how many bottles we already have, that was kind of a letdown there. But we'll see where ninjembro heads from here. It might be time to walk to Zora? No, nope, he's going back, I guess, to do the Mire area stuff, which seems fine.
Seems fine, but I mean, we already know from zer0rush's Super Bunny glitch that it's not anything necessarily worthwhile. We do see Bombos is going to be on Misery Mire for ninjembro's side. I think that's the first time he's gotten that knowledge.
I think he checked it when he did Checkerboard Cave. I don't know if I saw it.
So zer0rush is just now turning the old man in. We know that there's nothing necessarily here. It was done kind of out of logic earlier by ninjembro. Zero's going to have the hook shot, though, and he's getting ready to, I think the term is eat lunch. Yeah.
Yeah, by all rights, this is where most of the progression is going to be. It's just the most item-dense location. Probabilistically, it's where the seed wants the runners to go. And so zer0rush making this play makes a lot of sense. ninjembro is doing what he can and heading on up to Zora's domain, is going to sequence break. Oh, shucks! He was frames away and taking a 3rd death. This is not breaking ninjembro's way. But nice hookshot clip there, up to the Super Bunny chests there from zer0rush. And we're going to see ninjembro run it back. This is one he's not going to nope out on.
He's going to do what he can. So here's zer0rush. Hey, that's a heart container is so hype right now.
Man, ninjembro, all the feels, man. Like, fake flipper sucks. And getting sniped by the Zora sucks. And Turtle Rock is the Quake Medallion. And honestly, knowing where Ice Rod is already, like, and that it's a pendant, that kind of sucks too. But we're going to see ninjembro, because he has the Moon Pearl and is transitioning between the Underworld and Overworld, there's our 4th sword upgrade on the floating island. He's going to be forced into a water walking state, because this game's really weird and pretty awesome. And so he's going to walk on over to Zora.
We did find 2 heart containers. So the waterfall carry was the Cave of Love.
And another one there on the island. That's actually, in a weird way, a find that ninjembro's really happy he can't get, even though he wants health. Like, I think if he had the flippers, he'd go over and grab it, based on how things have been going so far. But at the same time, it's not something he'll have to come back for. And so let's see what Zora's got today. This is a chance to turn the tides a bit.
Yeah, Zora's been in Logic for a while, and it is the 3 most expensive bombs.
Yeah, there was an upcharge for getting your gasoline at the out of the way station there from Zora today.
So you're saying it's like Florida anyway?
I don't want to do that to Hyrule.
Oh, I don't blame you.
Florida's just really humid.
So Zero finding another bottle.
Fourth bottle too. We found all the swords and all the bottles. Sorry.
Oh, it's all right. However, we didn't get anything up on Death Mountain.
It's true. This is peculiar. Is it Spiral Cave?
I think he
Is
did
it
Spiral
Ether
Cave
Tablet?
first.
Oh man,
It
ninjembro
might be
is
Ether Tablet.
all the way
I
down the
mean-
rabbit hole here. He is committed to it not being one of the things he had to leave behind, and I love this play from Ninjembro. And it's the
Oh
hit!
my god! I mean, he's so happy to see it because now he can do all of the East Death Mountain as well. Oh, that's so nice for Ninjembro.
Except for Hookshot Cave. He can't do Hookshot Cave. But he can dive Fire Rodless TR and confirm a Fire Rod lock at this point. So that's going to be good. That squirrel was just a jerk. And he's just going to reset them.
Here's the thing, though. zer0rush doesn't have easy access to that Ether Tablet. Like, he will have to leave Death Mountain or flute away, go back to the old man, and then, like, do double mirrors back up there.
Well,
like, it's not an easy access for zer0rush right now, and I can see him going elsewhere.
Did zer0rush get the hammer? I don't think he's been over there, but
Oh, he can do it this way.
Okay. No, he is not. But yeah, he's gonna go through the hammer gate and mirror and get over there.
Okay, so he's going to get... Oh, right, that's right. I got really excited because I thought he was blocked and Ninjembro had a shot, but nope. Nope. I'm sorry, guys.
This will be good for Ninjembro. Just in the sense that it does open things up, but it's probably not sending him back over to Pendant Thieves. Although, I mean, being guaranteed to be able to clear it out, I could see just feeling so behind after a few deaths that you feel like you do need to get lucky and just rushing that big chest or something. Like, I've done less well-designed plays. And zer0rush going for Spike Cave. With Cane of Berna, this is in logic, so...
Yeah, Cane of Berna, and you don't need half magic. I think with the cape it does require half magic, but right now it's completely in logic. Found that out the other day. Oh my god, Fire Rod.
Oh my gosh.
So... yeah, Eternal Rock is looking more and more and more and more attractive right now.
Yeah, that is... the time is right for the T-Rock play. I hope T-Rock has cape, just because I'm an asshole, but we know where that Ice Rod is. Ninjembro does not know where that Ice Rod is.
No, he doesn't. He hasn't done that North Hyrule route to check the Bumper Cave. I think he's banking on boots before doing that so he can route in Bonk Rocks and King's Tomb at the same time. I don't know if it's... I mean, it may not... we know it. I mean, he could do that, and there's nothing in the Graveyard Ledge right now, so he's kind of hanging on to it. And the Ice Rod knowledge is nice, but not... I mean, it's not a game breaker at this point.
But yeah, I like this call from zer0rush. He's got a sword and the Fire Rod now, and only one item out of Skullwoods, if I remember correctly. So he's going to go and finish off this crystal, and also get that last item. The sword upgrades, if I remember right, were Cave 45 or South of Grove, the Floating Island, the Library, and the chest in the upstairs of Thieves Town, to answer a question in chat. So I don't know which one counts as the last one to the Inquisitor in chat, but that's where all 4 of them are.
So we do see zer0rush setting up, and looks like he's just stunning everyone. All these Gyptos. You have silver arrows, guys.
Yeah, I don't know why these runners are just clinging to their arrows today. It's really peculiar. But I guess he wants all 35 of them. I don't know.
Word of the day, peculiar.
Ninjembro is going to make the call to head back over this way. And go. He's going to get his fire rod, and we'll see if that forces him into T-Rock. We could see him get as far as Laser Bridge at this point, so...
That might be a significant gamble. Oh my god, that was the friendliest moth I have ever seen on zer0rush's side.
Yeah, everything's coming up Millhouse for zer0rush. This is good. 50 rupees, though, so not something Ninjembro is going to be missing out on. Ninjembro choosing to use a potion rather than use some of his magic bar, even though now that he's got Fire Rod, he might be headed to T-Rock and might get that large decanter right at the start of the dungeon. But yeah, if you blinked, you missed the moth fight. I guess there were 2 items. I guess they didn't have any items from Skullwood, so sorry about the inaccuracy. I said that they already had one. I thought they had a +5 bomb capacity, but I think I was remembering Tower of Hera.
Well, it looks like Ninjembro is coming over here and then going to come into Dark World from this side. Is he finally going back to Thieves Town?
He's headed towards Skull Woods, I think, because of that fire rod.
Oh, yeah.
But he might double this up with Thieves Town, so he's also going to get his powder and not miss out on the nothing at Magic Bat because of giving up on his mushroom. We actually haven't seen Magic Bat yet. But I'm just kind of assuming it's nothing.
Well, and zer0rush giving us a look here at the disappointment that is the pedestal. It's just couch cash. Move right along.
It was a good time to drop frames, too. We just got that for like 20 seconds.
It made you think that he was just sitting there going, not a bad seed.
Yeah, no. We'll see where zer0rush actually is. But I have just this absolute, like, super strong sense of, like, schadenfreude. And so I like to think he's just taunting chat right now. So boo zer0rush.
I can't determine if you love happiness or hate happiness right now, Maniacal. But either way...
That's the goal! I'm always happy. But I either love it or I hate it. I don't know. And Ninjembro is going to get his powder. And zer0rush is going to just stare pensively? I don't know.
He had one too many beers. He's doing Jeremiah loop, though. Okay.
He got the frog. He's doing hammer pegs. What do we get? Arrow capacity. Cool. And so this is going to let Ninjembro make up a little bit of time. Thankfully, no further mobility items have been found downstream of the hookshot. And so zer0rush is going to have the hookshot for this, but that's only going to save maybe 2 to 3 seconds.
Yeah, it's interesting to note that although Zero got that hookshot and it is absolutely required, Ninjembro also with a very clean moth kill.
Yeah, both these guys got the friendliest of moths.
I'm a little bit jelly. I'm not going to lie.
I am definitely not peanut butter, so I'm going to be jelly. I'm right there with you, Vitasia.
So it's worth noting that while zer0rush got the hookshot, he hasn't really been able to leverage it in such a way to make up much advantage over Ninjembro. We know Ninjembro is eventually going to have to go back there, but
yeah, none
of the places that Zero has gone have been completely locked off to Ninjembro at this point. He got lucky with the hammer, and that Death Mountain play could have been something, but Ninjembro with the lucky hammer there kind of mitigated that. Zero really, if he wants to maximize the hook shot, will need to make plays, for example, in Swamp Palace, maybe Ice Palace, in some of these dungeons. But we've seen just lots of overworld so far.
I love this by ninjembro. He's going to go back and he's going right for pod. And so he's going to be able to do Crystal Pod and patch up that EP snafu. And so this is going to, if pod pays out, this biases him toward this decision. And the only bad thing is if he finds flippers here and ends up going into Swamp without the hook shot.
Oh, that could be it. We do see Zero also coming over here into pod. It seems to be the vogue thing at the moment.
I think it's a great play. It's a lot of items, it's a crystal, it's entirely completable. The runners have Fire Rod now, so Dark Turtles isn't a complete and utter nightmare. Plus they have Blue Mail and more than 5 hearts. So I think this is a really good call.
You know, one thing that Fire Rod led to that I'm not sure I've seen either of these guys kind of maximize is Desert Palace. Now, we have both items out of Desert Palace, but A, that is a crystal, and B, it's the 5/6 crystal. So Pyramid Fairy might be a thing for our next progression.
What's the other 5/6? I'm having a little trouble remembering.
It's Desert and Skull Woods, which they've both done.
Oh yeah. So yeah, that is a location, and neither runner's been to the pyramid yet either. So I would expect a Flute to 6 coming up here after pod for both the runners. I'm really hoping that the flippers are like hard gated behind hookshot somehow, even though I think we've seen most of the hookshot gated locations that aren't also flippers locked.
Yeah, I think that's the problem, is the hookshot and the flippers are kind of in this weird sort of pseudo marriage where if one's required, they're both kind of required. Only in certain explicit locations is it not true. So ninjembro showing us some other locations here in pod. Zero is going hard right side.
Yeah, this is an interesting routing call by zer0rush. It's definitely not the norm, but you know, it's entirely fine. You're probably going to end up routing right side, and with mirror, that makes a lot of the first 6 chests in pod entirely modular.
Well, and the intel that you get really is that the first 6 chests in pod, of them, 4 of them must be keys. So if you end up finding 2 non-small key items relatively early, you can kind of math your way into knowing what the rest of the items are.
And that's a cool strat there by zer0rush, using the Cane of Samaria to just put a block on the edge where the Hard Hat Beetle can't block it, and hit the switch whenever he's ready for it.
Well, he had to kind of route himself up above the bumper so they would chase him away from the block. So that's absolutely kind of a heads-up play there by zer0rush. I like it, and I'm stealing it for my runs.
And I can't tell if without zer0rush's audio, it's hard to tell exactly where he may or may not be and whether he got that chest. I guess he got the first one, and it wasn't anything we could see. The second one was just a small key. Shield and Harmless Hellway.
You know, we went from pretty unhealthy to almost a full row of hearts, and I completely missed it, and I have no idea how that happened.
Yeah, for ninjembro, a lot of it was that Waterfall Fairy Cave. That's the advantage he has over zer0rush right now, those 2 hearts. I say advantage in strong air quotes.
Strong air quotes.
That's the health advantage that he has right now.
I think you have to enunciate a little bit more if you're gonna use air quotes. Like, there's advantage, and then there's advantage. There's some enunciation differences.
Well, I'll do my best. I can barely English as it is, so like this is asking a lot. Meanwhile, both runners dark mazing adequately, so both are showing themselves proficient. Ninjembro getting a little beat up, either for the Death Warp or for the Monka S. I can't tell. He's in a little bit of a weird spot. He's gonna have to get down. Okay, now he's around. He's on his way to the last chest and got the quarter heart. Didn't get the refill, but should, fingers crossed, no commentator curse here, be able to make it through that doorway.
Whew, man, that's close.
All right, he did it and got half magic. I'm kind of surprised Ninjembro didn't just death warp on one of those turtles or a bomb or something after mirroring out.
Absolutely.
That looks like some free health to me, because again, he does not still have the mushroom. Yeah, zer0rush, meanwhile, is on to his Dark Turtles experience, maybe? Or maybe he's just frame rate or frame dropping. Ninjembro even leaving the heart there from the Igor.
I mean, at this point, you gotta think he's feeling so behind that he can't even bother to save the frames to pick up a heart for like 5 seconds later, which is
okay.
Crazy.
Zero is Dark Turtling. Cool. And it looks like he's doing it competently. Got his torch lit. And yeah, all things going well there for zer0rush. Hopefully Ninjembro has a comparable experience, because his health is... we'll see how good he is at Dark Turtles.
Did Dark Turtling? That doesn't sound right.
Alright, Ninjembro now dimly lit turtling. Much better than Dark Turtling. And yeah, very, very competently executed. It was a good room for both runners. zer0rush give us a nice still frame of the Helmasaur King fight. I imagine he's doing okay. Looks like he's not sword buffering to keep himself facing forward and just using hammer for a little bit of speed. Ninjembro using an opposite strat here.
I personally like the sword buffering, but I can understand how it saves just a couple seconds.
Yeah, zer0rush a pretty aggressive player. So, Ninjembro choosing to use some of his silver arrows.
Oh my god, I'm gonna have a heart attack. They're actually using silvers. That's sarcasm, guys, because they haven't done anything with silvers yet.
Yeah, but it was very effective against Helmasaur King. So Ninjembro does collect his second crystal. I'm gonna say zer0rush also has at this point gotten his third crystal. We'll find out eventually.
I would imagine so.
But yeah, before the race, Ninjembro was the one who was expressing concerns about frame drops. So I'm glad to see his stream is holding up. He is going to go back and knock out Eastern Palace. We know that it's not going to be, quote unquote anything, but it is going to get that off the map. And okay, zer0rush is in the back of desert, going to go do land mode, get that 5/6 crystal. Popo's behaving there in Popo Genocide 2. Pretty good
Popo's
pattern.
Genocide 2, the Popoing.
Electric Boogaloo. But close. Ninjembro, now with sword, is gonna be re-encountering the Eastern Palace Dark Rooms. zer0rush menuing to both so we can use the audio cue here. we don't get the audio cue, but we know that he's got it, and yeah, that's a nice landmo. Landmo 1 down.
More importantly, that's the other 5/6 crystal. I'm really thinking something's on Pyramid Fairy. Although, I mean, boots, flippers. I mean, lamp theoretically could be there. No. Oh, yes, it can.
Yeah, 5/6 was skull. Fire rod was in front of the lamp. Swords were in front of the lamp. Yeah, nothing that was behind a dark room was behind a 5/6 crystal, or led to a 5/6 crystal. So right now we're pretty well in front of the lamp. We haven't really found any progression behind the sequence break, because we do have the flute that got us up to Death Mountain.
Exactly, man. And this is one of those seeds that, for those of us who are not so great at dark rooms, would be absolutely horrifying. This is a lesson to all of you would-be randomizer runners. Learn your dark rooms.
Yeah. When I started Randomizer, I just was like, okay, I'm going to do it, stay within the logic for a while, and just kind of get myself acclimated. And then literally the first race I did on SRL was like, do eight dungeons dark. And I was just like, all right, I guess I'm learning dark rooms. And I lost by like 15 minutes or something. It was pretty rough, but I pulled up the maps and it really wasn't that bad. Like, you're allowed to have maps. You're allowed to kind of work your way through what the inputs are. And it's totally worth doing to consider the lamp optional. But that is Ninjembro's Turtle Rock Medallion. So we'll see if he makes that play. I actually almost forgot that Ninjembro didn't have the medallion for T-Rock, whereas zer0rush did. We, of course, haven't seen zer0rush go in.
No, that hasn't really been much of an advantage. zer0rush has had a couple items for a long time that Ninjembro hasn't, but it hasn't led to any sort of significant advantage at this point in time. Although Misery Mire is also another one of those locations that might possibly open up.
Yeah, we haven't
if we had bombos.
And I have no idea what zer0rush found at the Pyramid Fairy, which is what I imagine he just did.
Oh, boots! It had to be boots at Pyramid Fairy, right?
Yeah, so he's got at least the boots out of Pyramid Fairy. Which we'll see if he ever bothers to go get the gold sword. If I'm him, I probably don't. But we're gonna see what else is behind the boots. But yeah, he's dashing. So what are those? We don't know. He found the sudden ability to go very, very quickly.
That's nice. I mean, we can infer it was likely Pyramid Fairy.
Yeah, it was Pyramid Fairy or on the pyramid. Those were the two things that he was setting up to do.
That'd be horrible.
Pyramid's so out of the way, especially without boots already. That's, yeah, pretty typical V29. zer0rush has, I guess, not yet been to Ice Rod Cave, so here we go. And yeah, pretty nice Landmo 1 for Ninjembro as well. So he's gonna get his 5/6. Gonna go get his boots, presumably. zer0rush looks like checking that he had his water walk state set up. Did properly set it up, so we're going to see him. Okay, he's gonna do a dash right away. I wasn't sure if we were gonna see that or the fake flipper to Hobo and then the dash for Zora's domain. But looks like he is gonna use his water walk just for the Hobo check. I prefer the fake flipper to Hobo and then the water walk from there, just so you get to water walk all of Zora's domain, but he does have the Moon Pearl. So he's going to be able to water walk anyway. So yeah, this is the better call from zer0rush. That's why he's here and I'm not.
I mean, you can say that about a lot of runners at this point in time, but that's okay. Myself included. I'm not excluding myself from that.
I mean, 90% of the field is eliminated at this point. And so what's left is these excellent runners.
Yeah, we need to do our best as creators to predict what they're going to do. But the runners have minds of their own, no matter what we say. There is no optimized route for Legend of Zelda Link to the Past Randomizer. There's good plays and then low percent plays, which could still be good if they lead to something. So, gambles.
Yeah, we will get to find out shortly what the pyramid had in store. 3 item locations coming up on Ninjembro's side. zer0rush does get his 2 hearts from the Waterfall Fairy Cave, and he's going to go buy his bombs. And the boots were on the pyramid.
So they've had access to these for a long time.
Oh, what a beating. That's so bad. I really like that, though. Yeah, so it wasn't even anything in Pyramid Fairy. But Ninjembro at least has his boots now.
The question becomes, do both of these runners feel behind? Because they both kind of put off going to the pyramid for quite a while, and knowing that the boots were just right there, do they both feel a little bit behind?
Well, zer0rush has already chased the boots pretty far, including off that bridge, and hasn't really found anything behind them. So they're a luxury item, but they haven't given him anything. So I think he's probably feeling pretty okay about it. If Bonk Rocks had had some sort of phenomenal progression, like if Bonk Rocks were flippers, and he was like, oh god, I should have been in Swamp a while ago, then I could see feeling behind. But with chasing boots and not finding anything, I think that he's probably feeling pretty okay. And I think Ninjembro will be the same way. Ninjembro, when he finds Hookshot, is going to feel really bad about it. But we know that it actually hasn't led anywhere yet. zer0rush doesn't have Bombos yet, so he hasn't been able to get into Mire. The best case scenario would be Flippers in Mire, Bombos in T-Rock for Ninjembro, with, I guess, Ice Rod back in Swamp. I think that's as good as it can be for Ninjembro at this point.
See, and we have zer0rush going ahead and entering into Turtle Rock. An early Turtle Rock check, but logically nothing's in Ice Palace, and we need that option into... I mean, we're missing Bombos to get into Misery Mire, and then missing Flippers for logical access to both Ice Palace and Swamp Palace. So this is really kind of the only option left, which is the least best option at this point.
Yeah, I think it's 5 items here, or 6 items here, potentially 5 or 6, depending on what's on Trinex, versus 2 in Mire for zer0rush. Ninjembro, because he does have the boots, could be over into Mire. Or, never mind, no Bombos, never mind. So yeah, it's basically T-Rock or bust. Like, this is where the seeds push the runners. And Ninjembro's leaving behind the locations that he died in, just trying to hope that he doesn't get punished. So yeah, zer0rush does, by virtue of finding that Bombos medallion, now have Misery Mire access. But he is going to continue to push the T-Rock play, having already paid to get all the way up to Death Mountain. I believe he would be able to preserve a Laser Bridge portal through a Mire play, and through going to get Ice Rod, if he did it very carefully. So just kind of checking in on what we still need for this seed. Well, I mean, T-Rock is a pendant. We still need the flippers for Swamp and for Ice Palace, and that's pretty much it. Lamp is logically required, but the runners do have a fire source, and so Fire Rod is going to be sufficient, especially with that half magic and all these bottles. There's really no concern about ever finding Lamp. Nice Burn-a-Dash there from Ninjembro. He's going to get his Bombos medallion. And, oh, Ninjembro with the plays.
This is really interesting. It's a bit of
This is a cool play by Ninjembro. He is going to chase that Bombos medallion. He's buying what it's selling. He's going right to Meyer.
Keep in mind, Ninjembro still doesn't have the hook shot. It is logically required eventually, so I think it's going to come down to a point eventually where Ninjembro is going to have to dip Thieves Town for that. But he is following that Bombos hard and saying, nah, there's nothing past what I need here.
Yeah, and where Ninjembro probably feels in the context of this race, I like this play a lot. I think that this is exactly the play he should be making.
Yeah, he absolutely feels behind after a few untimely deaths, so when you know you're behind in that capacity, you know you have to make some gambles in order to hope to even catch up. So this is a good play for Ninjembro, knowing what he knows.
And I see some comments in chat about zer0rush skipping Mimic Cave, which of course he did not do. He checked the big chest first and then went back and checked Mimic Cave. It's faster to get the big chest, and when you're one item from go mode, if it's going to be in one or the other, you can pretty easily check the big chest. I don't know if it's a positive EV play or not, but that was what was inspiring zer0rush's decision there, was he's flippers from go mode. And so he was saying, if big chest is the flippers, I don't want to waste my time in Mimic Cave. I just want to be the heck out of here. And zer0rush falling off the ledge might need to be a little careful here in his Dark Maze. Looks like he is going to go for Burn-a-Strats. That'll work fine. He's on track. And gonna take a harder damage there. But he is on to laser skips. It's interesting, when one of the runners is in a screen where I can see absolutely nothing, I focus in on that runner instead of watching what Ninjembro's doing, but he's going back for the chest in the big area of Meyer. It's completely like antithetical. I really, we would think we would stare at the screen that we can watch, but instead we're like, no, is zer0rush doing the Turtle Rock Darkroom? Okay, let's watch the black screen. As it turns out, zer0rush did a pretty good job with it, and is also doing okay on his laser bridge. And we will find out, is this flippers? It is not.
So just a big waste of time for zer0rush. Slight time gained there by Ninjembro. Not going to be enough to catch up for that hook shot, though, because, I mean, we were watching Zero do his hover strats earlier. Not that, I mean, we still need it for Swamp Palace, but...
Yeah, unfortunately, this is not a hookshot optional race because of that Swamp Palace crystal.
Yeah, chat pointing out, Zero could absolutely go mode Ice Palace right now. It's not what he wants to do, though. He still wants to find the flipper so he can kind of go mode with confidence.
Yeah, you don't really want... Like, he can go mode Ice Palace. He knows flippers won't be there and he has to find them somewhere. So if he just wants to take a couple minutes off and like think about life for a second, he can head on over that way and he can go mode Ice. Because that's something where the rate at which he does that isn't going to change no matter what happens, because he needs exactly flippers at this point. But there is a potential that he gets punished if Trinex has flippers and the cape was in Ice Palace. So I imagine that's going to keep him out of ice. Never mind. No, never mind. Never mind. I'm an idiot. Again. So yeah, there's nothing keeping him out of ice other than it just being logic. So it's, if he wants to go do it, he can, but it doesn't get him anywhere.
Just a rupee. So Ninjembro is going to go through. Where is this lamp?
It's probably an ice palace. The lamp is always an ice palace.
Yeah, but...
Ice Palace isn't dependent, though, so it probably doesn't actually have Lamp. But where would Lamp be? So far, we haven't found any progression behind the Lamp in the sequence breaks the runners have done. So it doesn't really give us any context. And, like, it can't be Pedestal because of the Dark Room in Turtle Rock. We've already seen Pyramid Fairy. We've already seen kind of some of the miserable spots. It could be over at Catfish.
Catfish seems likely at this point, but like, oh god. I mean, wherever the flippers are, we've seen enough places in Misery Maya.
No.
No,
Sorry.
Ninjembro.
That dark room just did not break his way, and I empathize. Like, I went through that one yesterday, and it just happens. Meyer Basement 1 can just go wrong even when you know the inputs.
Ninjembro is not feeling good about this. He's sitting there contemplating his life and what has become of it.
Yeah, and at this point I can check back in and see Ninjembro has in fact forfeited.
Yeah, I'm seeing that now on the SRL channel. Ninjembro has taken too many deaths. He knows he's too far behind.
Yeah, so GG to Ninjembro. Good persistence, but he knows he's got another one coming up here in an hour, and he just needs to get his head back on tilt and get ready to battle here as soon as zer0rush finishes up this one. So we are going to get to see zer0rush play out the rest of this story here. But yeah, just too many deaths. It's entirely reasonable to just kind of live to fight another day.
Yeah, and in knowing that you have there's a grudge match immediately after that. Neither Ninjembro or zer0rush are going to be available for an interview after this race, simply because they're going to be preparing themselves for the rematch immediately after. So in Ninjembro's mind, he said, I'm full tilt. There's nothing I can do at this point in time to catch up. I need to take a step back and just breathe. Maybe get a drink of water or another drink. I don't know.
Yeah, I agree with this call from Ninjembro, only predicated on the fact that he has another race to play. And so if he's just really feeling the tilt, just getting yourself back in the right frame of mind to come in for round 2, that's going to be the best thing he can do for himself.
Absolutely. Now, it's worth pointing out, ladies and gentlemen, that Zero does still have to finish. Like, just because one opponent forfeits, if the other one forfeits, then it's a wash. So It's a matter of Zero still has to finish at this point in time.
Mm-hmm. And I was kind of hoping to see Dark Spooky from Zero, because that's the sort of thing that I could see him busting out in a race where, like, his opponent has forfeited, if he's seen that. But it looks like he's just doing a very good Dark Mire for us. But yeah, I do see Ninjembro saying that he is basically ready to go for the next one. So let's cheer zer0rush on as he finishes this very interesting seed, honestly. This has been a real treat of a seed. And then we'll get round 2 from these guys, and hopefully a little bit more health, a little bit less green mail.
Yeah, this was probably the unhealthiest seed I've seen for a lot of this tournament, at least in the top 5. Just requiring 5-heart Dark World green male with no weapons, early game, all the deaths that ninjembro took early. I mean, I can absolutely sympathize with them from that perspective. And knowing that you've taken that many deaths, it makes logical sense to take a break, cool your head, and come back with a vengeance for round 2.
Yeah, and I can personally attest to ninjembro being a very competent player who can entirely handle those situations. We actually played in the Swiss, and in our race, the seed basically pushed us into like 6-heart fighter sword moth, and we both just muscled through it. And like, he's entirely capable of doing those low health green male situations. It's just they kind of compound. Once you take 2 deaths, it starts to really, you start to play a little looser and more aggressively, and so when you continue to get punished, like we saw him going through with, what was it, 3 hearts instead of taking a death warp in pod, and like he didn't get punished there, but he knew he needed to make up time. And the Patrick Star being a little bit of a jerk here. Wow, these guys are just not being kind to zer0rush. Hellway just doing its thing.
Absolutely. Now,
sorry, go ahead, Vitasia.
Oh, I was just pointing out, it's a little bit unusual seeing him come back here in the first place, just knowing that there's only one item location, and he's just trying to find these one-offs for the flippers.
Yeah, and I don't know if he's seen the forfeit. I imagine he has. But this could be a good check. This was one of the things that kind of gave ninjembro outs, this location. Because this could have pushed him back. Like, if this is flippers, this would have also pushed ninjembro to the hook shot. And it isn't. So I think ninjembro still was substantially behind. But good on zer0rush to get back and realize maybe that like that was one of the ways he could get most punished, because the hookshot hasn't gated anything yet. And so since Blind had the hookshot but nothing has been behind the hookshot, going back and making sure that the hammer, getting the hammer ahead of that, like going and getting it from Ether Tablet, didn't actually put you to the flippers in Pendant Thieves. I think that's probably what he's thinking. And so I do like that call. We'll see where he goes next. Let's see. So if I'm zer0rush, where am I headed? Where am I headed that's up this way?
I have no idea.
He's already done the mirror ledge.
Catfish?
He doesn't have flippers, so you'd have to set up a water walk to do it from this direction, which I guess like he could do that. It seems like a weird way to go, but you know, maybe if he's in it for the memes, I dig it.
I mean, he's just in it. At this point in time, Zero would have seen the dot forfeit, so yeah, maybe he's just doing it for chat, because what else do we have? It's all for you, chat. It's all for you. Yeah, he's over here in Catfish. I don't know how he got over here.
He got over here somehow.
Maybe mirror. I don't know.
No,
I give up.
How did he get to Catfish? What? He can't go that way with hookshot. He must have set up the water walk in Skull. And there are our flippers.
Yeah, that was a possibility. He is all the rage.
Yeah, so zer0rush now is in go mode at 1 hour, 29 minutes, and about 40 seconds.
So if this isn't a reminder to all you would-be randomizer runners out there to take time. I mean, yeah, the catfish and some of the other out-of-the-way locations are a great gamble to ignore every now and then. That being said,
So
it can absolutely hold progression, and you could really hurt yourself by not doing it.
So I'm going out on a limb here, but the Link to the Past randomizer community has a propensity for liking flavored names for things, whether it be vanilla or French vanilla for in the same dungeon. Is in the alternate reality version of the same thing, that is, vanilla flippers would be on Zora. Is this a chocolate flippers?
It is now.
I think that dark catfish has to be chocolate flippers.
Yeah, I'll say chocolate flippers. I will back you up on the creation of that meme maniacal.
We'll see if it sticks. I sincerely doubt it. But that's what I'm rolling with.
I mean, personally, whenever I think vanilla, of course, because I'm American, I think vanilla ice cream. So I think, what's the opposite of vanilla ice cream? And I think like kale salad. So, but I don't know if the kale location really like rolls off the tongue as
Not
well
like
as chocolate.
this. It's at the opposite side of the Neapolitan box, okay? Yeah, sorry to the chat. This is what we have to do here as commentators when half of the race is gone and zer0rush is just, showing us very proficient go mode execution. He's going to show us a really nice go mode swamp palace here. He's going to grab this key, head right for the back. And we'll see what sort of Argus strat he goes for. We can talk about what he's doing. It's going to look kind of like a very overloaded NMG run at this point, where we're going to see him go mode swamp, go mode ice, head on up to Ganon's tower. Has he not done Vitreous?
Pretty sure he did Vitreous.
I think we saw, I saw him Silver Arrow Vitreous. Because we saw the Vitreous fight, and ninjembro definitely didn't. So yeah, we're going to see him do Swamp. He's going to go mode Ice and head right on up to Ganon's Tower. So key depending, we'll see him get, a 150 range time. It's a good time.
That's not a horrible time, no. Not in any capacity.
Not choosing to take the hearts, he's just like, nah, I don't get hit by Argus. Argus is a scrub. These green guys, though, if you get bad RNG, like, you're just stuck, but nah, he just doesn't even care.
He's like, yeah, I'll take a water spider to the face. I don't care about it. And we got poke strats. I love seeing poke strats done well. Oh my god, Zero Cycle.
Oh, nicely done, zer0rush. That was the textbook Argus. That's why he's good.
Yeah, that might highlight how good zer0rush is. I mean, blink and you're done with Argus.
Yeah, that takes a combination of being really, really good and getting decent RNG on Argus, and it lined up, and that was a treat.
Yeah, in order to do those poke strats, you have to not only hold your sword out, but also use the hook shot and then dash while still holding it. Like, start your dash to get the poke, and then do that over and over and over and over and over again for that. It's amazing.
Yeah.
That is not an easy trick to do in any capacity.
No, that's, in my opinion, the hardest quick kill in this game. And like you said, you hold the sword out, you do a hook dash, so you're holding the B button, you tap Y and A on the same frame, and then you have to tap Y over and over as you move Link around in order to hook all the puffs, and he just nailed it. Even the best runners are not, like, it's RNG dependent and aren't, like, 100% consistent at that. It's that hard of a trick. So, beautiful fight there. And I'm sure we're going to get a really nice Go Mode Ice Palace here from zer0rush. For anyone just joining, ninjembro took a handful of deaths based on some pretty low percent or low percent loadout explorations that the runners were forced to do in this seed, and had to play kind of riskier downstream and just got punished a few too many times, and decided it was better to get his bearings about him for round 2.
Yeah, it's a completely understandable thing when you're in ninjembro's situation, knowing that you have another game, and if you already feel so behind, you know you're going to lose, there's no shame in going ahead and saying, nope, you know what? I need to step back, take a breather, gather my thoughts. The mental game of Rando is just as important as routing and execution, because if your heart's going and you're just frustrated with yourself so much, it just leads to bad times for everyone involved. So no shame in what ninjembro did with that forfeit, knowing that he probably had lost the game anyway.
Yeah, and ninjembro, I know, is the sort of guy who, if he was playing one game, he would have battled until he saw the dot done, because that's what he did in his match with me. Like, he felt very, very behind. He made some plays that didn't pan out for him, and he stuck with it and just said, I'm sticking with it until I end up in a spot where I see that dot done. And here it was a calculation that he's going to be able to get his mental state repaired and put on a better show in game 2. And zer0rush was going for the poke dash and had to kind of back it up with 6/, but still a good cold stare quick kill. He was trying to show us he was trying to show us the best cold stare quick kill.
Yeah, the zer0rush strats. I mean, he's making it swag, but that is his 7th crystal maniacal. You know what that means, right?
I do. You want to lead us in? It looks like chat's already on it.
Yeah, chat's on top of it. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to do our Ganon's Tower Big Key guessing game. There are 22 treasure chests in Ganon's Tower that can possibly contain the Ganon's Tower Big Key. Go ahead and get your guesses in chat. Just a number is all you necessarily need. If you are a subscriber to any of the Speed Gaming network of channels or have donated at least 250 bits across the channels, you will be entered into our leaderboard, 1 through 22. Get your guesses in. Maniacal, my good friend, what are you going to choose for us today?
The number I always go with is 15 as vanilla big key, which otherwise turns into, I suppose, 19 if the runners pursue right side. But I like that location. Do you have a number that you favor, Vitasia?
Right now, I'm stuck on number 18 until I get one right. I try to stick with one number until I win, and then chat inevitably curses me, calls me a witch, etc., etc., so I switch it after that. So 18 is what I'm stuck on right now.
I mean, that seems as viable a strategy as any. It is just true randomness, so I guess there are some numbers that are more likely to come up than others, actually. Higher numbers are a lower percent play because of gating behind things like hookshot or boots or Cane of Samaria that can happen in Ganon's Tower. And this is an interesting frame we've stopped on. Looks like zer0rush does have all 7 crystals and will be headed into Ganon's Tower.
All right, with the freeze frame, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he's got 12 hearts, 10 and a half of which are full right now. 1,247 rupees. The info HUD. Yeah, I mean, he's pretty set. But I'm sure that he's doing an excellent Ganon's Tower. We'll see if we find out what key or what chest this key is. Yeah. Let's keep our fingers crossed for Zero Rush's frames. He's entering it, a 139. Nice time. He's on pace to potentially cut that sub 150 depending on where the ski is.
Yeah, the 150 would be a little bit difficult to get, but we'll see if he manages to do it.
Yeah, so let's cheer Zero Rush on. He's making up some time coming in under estimate for this match. And so we'll be back on schedule. Looks like he is still exploring. And I have no idea if he went right side or not, so...
Yeah, traditional routing, that would have been treasure chest number 8, using the blue boomerang there. Given the strats that he used, I'm pretty sure that he's going to be all right, and that's number 8.
Yeah, well, it's 8 or it's 12.
Well, and if we find it in the back here, then, yeah.
I think he probably didn't get a small key on the right side based on kind of how things are, how long he was frozen and things like that.
Absolutely.
So I'm gonna say that was 8.
Yep, so we have 10, 11, 12, and 13 here. So he's going through the warp maze a little bit, which is, albeit annoying, but not difficult as long as you know what you're doing.
Still confuses me every time. I just get lost. Go back and forth to the same portal. It's awful.
Looks like he picked up whatever Bob was, because we know that Bob only appears there if, for whatever reason, you do not bonk the torch at the bottom. So he picked up Bob, whatever it was. Maybe a key.
Yeah, and with silver arrows, we're gonna see an ice Armos that's pretty easy. That one was a little bit shifty there. Had the jukes.
All right, so
Oh, 15.
15?
There it was. I'll take it. I didn't win any of these trying to guess in the flurry of numbers, and I don't think I've calmed to 15 before, so I'll take the W.
Hey, go for it. I mean, that's perfectly fine. You'll take the win, sir. Enjoy it.
Yeah, mostly Zero Rush is going to take the win here. That was a nice Mimics one. We'll see. Oh, he's going for the good Mimics too. Didn't expect anything else.
And the winner is going to be... No one guessed 15, so the closest was Phyleon.
Man, I should have just typed it in there.
And Phyleon, yes, I am pronouncing your name right. I know you give me a hard time for that every now and then.
Man, well, GG Phyleon.
And Ravis 10 is still on top of our leaderboard. That's crazy that someone's had 13 wins so far. GG to both Phyleon and Ravis 10. And yes, keep in mind that Zero Rush is going to be going through this Ganon's Tower climb as quickly as he can, but there's going to be a game 2 after that. We're going to give Zero Rush a quick break, and Ninjembro has had time to kind of gather his thoughts and think about his life decisions and come to the inescapable conclusion that this is what he wants to do.
Yeah, I don't think Ninjembro had too many existential doubts there, but Zero Rush is into land mode 2. And unfortunately, that third Landmo being a little bit of a jerk, hopping down and left, but got him down in the second round.
I mean, of course the last Landmo worm is going to be a little bit of a jerk. Landmo is always a jerk. I don't care what anyone says.
It's kind of true. It's very RNG heavy as bosses go beyond the first round. So it was nice that the runners had silver arrows for both rounds, where you can guarantee that you'll be able to kill them all, provided that you do it well enough.
So we see Zero using Fire Rod strats. He was able to dash entirely through that conveyor room without really taking the guards into any consideration. They just kind of parted ways like Moses in the Red Sea.
And wow, really nice torches too there from zer0rush. And he isn't screwing around with these upper GT strats. I guess he has powder, so, I mean, he knows what he's able to do here. He's gonna powder here and get some of his health back. But
he gets one fairy and leaves the other. Zero. I mean, I know, I get it. He's an MG, and he's gonna hover here because he wants to show off.
Because he's on console and it's free.
Cheater. I mean, he's not a cheater. He's not actually a cheater. I'm just jealous.
Yeah, and I'm on console and my hovers fail all the time. But yeah, zer0rush not wasting any time. He does want that sub 150. So he's showing off some cool strats and giving us a show, even though the forfeit is in. He knows the outcome of the race. I like that it's a good sportsmanly thing.
So, as Monty Games ask, why is it easier on console? And I think it's just, I think I've not been on console. Nice triple by Zero.
Nice agate too.
Very nicely done. I think it comes down to the input lag. It's so microscopic, but for whatever reason, many runners have reported that it's just easier to hover on a console than anyone. I don't think anyone who does it on the emulator actually can do the hover just because of the input lag.
There are a number of emulator hoverers. I know a good buddy of mine, Maximum Barnage, is among them. And maybe some of the emulator hovers are not as consistent as the console ones, but switching to console makes it pretty easy. Super Taylor was hovering on emulator for a while. zer0rush was hovering on emulator before he set up for console. It's not so much about the input lag as it is about the polling rate and the drop frames. Nice poke dash strats here on Ganon. Good 1-in-1 from zer0rush. So yeah, very nice Ganon. It's the frame rate is part of it, but mostly it's the polling rate for the controller is my understanding. Not being an emulator player myself, I can't actually speak to it. But, if I'm going to rag on emulator players for being cheaty and doing things like speeding up the credits, I'm going to rag on console players for doing things like hovering for free.
All right, so zer0rush is setting himself up very nicely for this sub 150.
Oh, and that unfortunate up input there. Yeah, some rage tugs. But nice warp management there, and down goes Ganon.
Absolutely. So zer0rush completes it in the sub 150. He is absolutely amazing. We'll have his official time here shortly. Does look like it's going to be, as he crosses the bridge, 1:49.08. GG zer0rush officially completes ninjembro with the forfeit early. And we have the value.
The value. That's what that hover was about, and that Argus quick kill, and all the really cool stuff that zer0rush showed us there on the back end of that run. Just really nice run by zer0rush, and a nice run by ninjembro up until the point where he decided to call it quits. Just a couple bad breaks cascaded into some more bad breaks, and I'm sure Game 2 is going to be a different and exciting story. But yes, GG to zer0rush. Congratulations on moving on to 1-0 in this round of 64 match between zer0rush and ninjembro. Game 2 is coming up very, very shortly.
Absolutely. So both these runners are going to take a breather, get set up here. Stay tuned right here on Speed Gaming. It's going to be immediately afterwards. They're getting set up, and they're going to do the grudge match, zer0rush versus ninjembro. Zero now with a 1-0 advantage, so we're going to see if ninjembro kind of adjusts his game plan at all. Keep in mind, that's not the only thing that's going on Randomizer tonight. Starting just a little bit ago, it looks like I'm the Shores versus Wolfie is on ALTTP Randomizer 1. Go over there and check that out. That's the last of the 128 matches. Also here at 8 o'clock, so here in just about 15 minutes, we're going to have Zelda versus Couch on ALTTP Randomizer 2. On ALTTP Randomizer 3, we're going to have Gloin versus Dow TMB. Gloin, I'm going to point out, is the current record holder for this particular version of Randomizer in this tournament. He's got a 107 complete rate, so that's going to be pretty hype. Number Play versus Salty Fry at 9:30 on Speed Gaming 3, and then at 10 o'clock tonight, Hippo versus Zaphod Beetlebrox right here on Speed Gaming as well. So still plenty of Randomizer going on tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. A lot of really exciting stuff coming up. And similarly, like we said, Game 2 of zer0rush versus ninjembro, I think that Vitasia and I are going to be leaving, and we're going to be handing the keys over to Files and RD Walsh. But I think they're going to do an excellent job of taking you through that next one. I think I'm going to check out at this point, but going to thank Vitasia for letting me join him on commentary, and zer0rush and ninjembro, good friends of mine, for letting me commentate their match. It's been a lot of fun, really appreciated it. And I've been Maniacal, so thank y'all, and enjoy the next race. I know I will.
Absolutely. A big shout out also to Hanson, who's been our tracker tonight, and so much else going on tonight. I'm also Vitasia. Maniacal, it's been a pleasure to work with you, and I'm also signing off. I'll see you guys at the next race.